Hi, I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this cute bat and also a version of this bat where he's flying instead of having his wings folded. Here's how to make it. Okay, this is the video showing how to assemble the bat if we do not have a light box. And so I've got all the pieces prepared, which means I've got them cut out on the solid lines around the pieces, and then all of these dotted lines I have transferred to the fabric side of the piece. So most of these dotted lines are placement guides that show you where the applique pieces are going to go on top of them, and a few of them, the eyelashes and the mouth, the solid lines within here, are actually stitching lines, and those I have transferred over just using fine tip Sharpie. It's a permanent pen, and that's okay because I'm actually going to stitch over those lines with black thread, and you will never see the Sharpie again. So to assemble this, we're going to start with the pieces that go off the edge of the block. So that's these straight edges here. And normally those are going off the bottom edge of the block because I design most of my blocks what I call snapshot style, and I want it to look like I'm taking a picture of this animal and just zooming in on the face. So the body is there, it's just being cropped out of the photo. And to get that look, I want these straight edges to be at the edge of the block, so they'll be sewn in the seam and it'll look like it's just been cropped out. But for the bat, he's going to be hanging upside down, and so that crop edge is going to be the top edge of the block. So we're going to start with piece number 10, and I'm just going to set that up there for now. And then piece number 9 is the other wing, and this piece goes underneath the other one. So as soon as I get that chalk line covered, I know I've got a good amount of overlap. I'll be able to launder that without those edges coming loose. And I've got both flat edges lined up at the top edge of the block. Now, we're going to tuck the edges of the face underneath those wings. And it's just a little bit disorienting to do it all upside down. So if you wanted to, you could always assemble it right side up and then flip your block over. So I'm just going to tuck that underneath until those chalk lines are covered up, and also I don't want any air space to show, any background block to show through in that little V there. All right, now we're going to add his ears. So I've got 2 ears. Let's do this side first. So number 2 goes on this side, and just again tuck it under just until that line gets covered up. And then we're going to do number 1 on this side. Most bats have very large ears, which makes perfect sense because that's how they move around. They know what's around them. Okay, now I've got his eyes. There are 3 ovals actually. Let me show you this. I've got 4, 5, and 6. And if you are confused about which one is which, there is a placement guide that shows you all the pieces with numbers. So I know that 4 and 5 are the eyes and 6 is the nose. The nose is a slightly smaller oval than the eyes. And I am realizing I put some chalk lines on this, but this is the version I actually want to do without the teeth. So I'm going to ignore those little chalk markings and I'll just erase them off. But I wanted to show you that you can do this with or without the teeth showing. So bats, you can't see their teeth when they have their mouths closed, but as soon as they open their mouth, the teeth are really, really obvious. So I wanted to put both options in there, plus we think of bats as little vampire teeth, having little vampire teeth. So I wanted to put the teeth in there as an option, but I'm going to show you this block without the teeth in it and another block, two different blocks with the teeth in it. So that is everything assembled. This is for the bat with folded wings, and I am going to show you another version of the pattern. Another option in the pattern is to not use these folded wings, and to turn everything over and have some extended wings. So I'll show you an option at the end of how that looks all put together. But for right now, I'm going to take this over to my ironing board, fuse everything in place, do all of the outline stitching, and then I will bring it back here and show you this finished block, a finished block like this, but with the teeth in there, and also the bat with the extended wings that I think will look really great on like Halloween quilts. But this version of the bat will look really great on wildlife quilts. This one I actually chose the colors to be a brown bat, which live on the east coast of the United States, and there are a lot of them in the national parks on this coast. And so I did this in the colors for the Northeast group of national parks quilt bundle that I'm working on. So I'll be back and show you the finished block. So here's the finished bat. Bats usually come in brown or in gray. Sometimes they have kind of a reddish coloring to them. One thing that you will notice if you study photos of bats, which I did when I was putting this pattern together, is that the ears and the wings are usually darker than the face. So whether you choose to make a gray bat or a brown bat or kind of a cinnamon colored bat, just keep that in mind, that the ears are usually darker. The ears and wings are usually darker than the face. So here's my brown bat, but I also made a black bat. And on this one, so this guy has the eyelashes and no teeth. And this guy has no eyelashes, but he does have teeth. So just two different options that you can do. And I have one other option as well. So this is a flying version of the bat. So the bat's head is smaller so that you could fit these extended wings in there. And I actually am going to make this, so your pattern is going to have the bat be a little bit smaller even than this. I designed this one to fill a 10-inch block if it was tipped sideways like that, but it really fills the block and it makes it a little difficult to position in there without it going over the edges. And I realized as I was finishing this guy up that if I made it just a little bit smaller and he could fit sideways, it would make a great half block addition to any Halloween quilts that you wanted to make. So the size for this guy in the pattern that you have is going to be just a little bit smaller than this. So just bear in mind, it will work sideways in a 10-inch block, and you'll still be able to angle it within that block. So if you wanted to do them on full squares, you could have them all fluttering around, and it would still be super fun, and everything will still be totally stitchable. So that's how you make the bat pattern. Two different ways to make him, flying or just hanging around. I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and I will see you next time.